It may look like a standard blood test, but this one is screening for HIV. And in 1993, it was a test just like this, which changed Marama Mullen's life forever.
In those days, it was really like, I thought it was the end of my life. I thought, I'm never going to be finding love, I'm never going to have children. Because they basically said, forget having children, you won't be here long enough to look after them.
Marama was just 22 years old. 25 years on, and a lot has changed. Her HIV is controlled by daily medication, which keeps her and thousands of others alive.
So these are my pills that I take every day. They are antiretrovirals. Been taking antiretrovirals for 18 years. During that time, my virus has not been detectable at all.
But the same progress hasn't been made with some of the stigma associated with the disease.
I would love to be able to tell my new patients, you know, go home and tell everybody that you've got HIV and people won't treat you any differently, or they'll look after you or give you a hug like you would if you went home and told someone that you had cancer. But unfortunately, there are still some people who are very ignorant of HIV, and any bit of education out there about HIV has got to be a good thing.
Carolyn Worry is an HIV specialist working in Hamilton's Sexual Health Clinic.
In the Waikato, we look after currently about 220 patients with HIV, and it's a 80-20 split male-female at the moment.
She agrees that public's perception needs to change.
You teach 10 people in a room, they all go home and say, oh, you know, HIV is not like it used to be. Because if people have never been re-educated on it, they'll never have any idea.
A recent survey shows that there's still a long way to go to change the way New Zealanders feel about HIV. 38% of the Kiwis surveyed would be uncomfortable having an HIV-positive flatmate. A further 46% would be uncomfortable letting their child play with another child who had HIV. And 88% of respondents would be uncomfortable having a sexual relationship with a person with a positive status. That's despite a global U=U movement, with the message that those on treatment can't transmit the virus.
If somebody is HIV positive, on medication that they're taking regularly, and that means that the virus cannot be detected on their blood sample, then that is untransmissible. So U=U is undetectable, is untransmissible.
It means we can't pass it on, we can't pass on the virus. Even with those messages out there, we still get stigma. My children still get stigma, because I did end up having my dream children and living the life that I wanted to live. But now, because I live with this virus, they live with it as well. Even though they are HIV negative, they live with the stigma and discrimination that comes with it.
The lack of awareness about HIV today is a huge problem that Marama is doing all she can to change.
I think with women, and particularly Māori as well, you never find out till it's right at the end. There's a lot of late diagnosis, so people aren't getting tested early, and children have been misdiagnosed as well. And that is a concern. There's not enough sort of knowledge and general sort of practice of our GPs and our doctors on what could be an AIDS-related illness or an HIV symptom.
3,500 people are estimated to be living with HIV in Aotearoa. Around 15% of those may not even know they carry the virus.
So men who have sex with men, really keen to encourage regular testing. And that's basically because HIV rates are higher amongst men who have sex with men. Men are more likely to come in contact with an infection. But the problem with that message is that then other people can think, well, I'm not at risk. And then the issue is around whether or not women are getting tested. So generally, as part of a general sexual health test, is making sure that people think, have I had an HIV risk?
And knowing your HIV status is one of the messages being pushed for World AIDS Day on December 1st.
It's all remembering the ones that have died. And, you know, how do we honour the people who have died of AIDS? And women, children, men all over the world. How can we honour them better by being the lucky ones, the survivors that got the medication in time to live longer?
Hunter Calder, Local Focus.